I made a video about Eckhart Tolle's teaching on resist nothing, and I wanted to just add a little bit to what I've already said and what's already been said on this teaching of resist nothing, because if you really think about it deeply, there can be some confusion about what it actually means to resist nothing. Eckhart Tolle says that we should uh, embrace every situation with which we are presented as if we had chosen it ourselves. I made an analogy about how awakening uh, can be compared to being the reader of a story in one of my previous videos. And if you think about it, if you're the reader of a story as the awareness, and an event arises or circumstances arise, uh, then as the reader, it is as if you have chosen that situation. And so the question is, why would I, as the awareness, choose a situation that would cause me any pain or any uh, hurt? But we face situations that can cause pain, hurt, frustration, anger, fear. And so, how do we approach those situations? I said in previous videos how when we resist nothing, we don't take the view that this is happening to me. We take the view, this is happening for me, for my spiritual development, and for a higher level of awareness and a higher level of consciousness. Now, having said that, there are situations in life that we need to resist physically, but not internally. It's an important distinction to make. And in one of his lectures, Eckhart Tolle actually makes this distinction, because there are some situations that we need to resist. Uh, I could think of one situation: if someone is uh, causing us physical harm, if we are in an abusive relationship, if we uh, are suffering in some conditions that are undesirable, first and foremost is how we approach that situation internally. And that is the spiritual teaching that Eckhart Tolle talks about in The Power of Now. So, in any situation that we find ourselves in, non resistance, non resistance, as Eckhart Tolle talks about it, is not denying the reality of that situation. In fact, Eckhart Tolle says, what could be more futile? What could be more insane than denying what is? And if you think about it, that that's a very deep and profound truth. So lately, I've been having these situations uh, where I've been more forgetful than normal, and I just take it as the universe pushing me towards uh, a higher level of consciousness and awareness. Now, the reason I say that, I'm not the type of person that never forgets, but I'm also not the type of person that forgets things often. I'm probably somewhere in between. I'm probably just average as far as, forgetfulness goes. But here lately, in the past week, really, as I've been on this journey, taking in Eckhart's teachings, trying to apply Eckhart's teachings in every aspect of my life, because I think that's the way it should be. We shouldn't compartmentalize spirituality, and especially not, you know, uh, just uh, put spirituality in for one day a week. We don't want to do that. We want to incorporate spirituality in the simple things: washing the dishes, walking the dog. Eckhart Tolle says, "Let the dog walk you." Um, in our conversations with other people, practice listening to that person without thinking about what you're going to say next. In the everyday simple things, that's how we need to incorporate our spiritual knowledge and understanding. There's a huge difference between understanding the spiritual teachings conceptually and actually applying it and walking the path. So I've been forgetting things. I forgot my my earphones when I go to work out. I go work out every day when I'm off work, and my work schedule is a little different than most. But I forgot my earphones the other day. I forgot my wallet when I was going to the store. I forgot my water bottle. I drink a lot of water. Water's good for you. And when I was at work, I left it in the car. I had to go back and get it. So there's just various things I've been forgetting. But find the opportunity within the so-called problem. And we only make it a problem in our mind. In reality, it's not a problem. Um, so I drive all the way to the YMCA, which is where I do my workouts. And when I get there, I suddenly remember I don't have my earphones. And I'll listen to Eckhart Tolle as I work out and glean some deeper understanding about life. So it's a real, not only beneficial time for my physical body, but also for my spiritual health. And that's important to me. It's something I do fairly regularly. And when I realized I'd forgotten my earphones, I noticed, and listen, one of the most important things in our spiritual awakening is to notice, to be able to stop and notice, to disidentify with your thinking, to have just the slightest space of awareness, to be able to look as the awareness, as the presence, and say, okay, what is going on here? So at first, I noticed, okay, I forgot my earphones. And then I noticed irritation arising, frustration arising. Because now I have to drive all the way home to get my earphones, or I have to do my workout without the benefit of listening to my spiritual uh, teacher. Is this a problem? No. But the mind wanted to make it into a problem. So, recognizing that there was a space of awareness, and I made the decision, first of all, I didn't resist the situation. And this is where the spiritual teaching about resist nothing comes into play. I didn't resist it, I embraced it totally. I do not have my earphones. I embraced it. because that is the reality with which I was presented in that present moment. Now, to resist it would have caused greater frustration and greater stress. To think, oh, why did I forget it? I always forget stuff. Why is this happening to me? No. No, now I've got to drive all the way back. No. I didn't allow the mind, the egoic self, to hijack myself. I maintained awareness as the presence. I decided to drive back home and get my earphones. And while I did so, uh, I was aware of my breath, my breathing in and out. I was uh, observant of the scenery. Um, I enjoyed and took in the scenery during the drive back home. I I was listening to music that I was enjoying, and so the journey back home wasn't uh, something to dread. It wasn't something that I wanted to fast forward through and just hurry up. Let me hurry up and get through this so I can get back to the why and do my workout. I wasn't having those type of thoughts. I was enjoying the moment and enjoying the experience of traveling to get my earphones. And I was able to take that all in. I did not resist it. And it's opportunities like that we need to seize when they arise. This is not happening to me. This is happening for me. And that's the most profound thing about resist nothing. However, there are situations where we need to physically resist the situation. If somebody's causing harm to us, we accept, embrace, acknowledge that we are in a situation where physical harm can come to us. But we also resist that by either running away, uh, protecting ourselves, covering our face, or even retaliating upon someone who is trying to inflict physical harm on us. We're not going to be impractical about that. And at the same time, we don't deny the reality of our circumstances because, as Eckhart Tolle says, what could be more insane than denying and resisting the reality of our circumstances?